Wait, I was muted the other. Fucking hell. Really? Welcome back. I thought I unmuted myself, but technically I muted myself. Hey, let's go. Yes. You just missed a few things, that's about it. I'm a fucking idiot. An adventurer calling themselves a warrior of light. Why would anyone tie themselves to the legacy of the individual held to in such low regard in the first? Warrior of light, harbingers of the flood and all the world's woes, that this wanderer would so boldly claim their title is most curious indeed. 'Tis strange to think how heroes so beloved by the people could be brought so low in so short a time. After tells me a warrior of light has slain the senator. Quite frankly, I'm not sure what to make of this. Ah, yes, I was hoping to speak with you about her. On second thought, never mind. It would be rude of me to pry. The others were quite shocked to hear of what we found in Lakeland, but now that you're here, there is a proposal I should like to make. But yeah. Let's see. I have been spending a great deal of time in the Cabinet of Curiosity, and of late I have noted more and more people perusing books of on history, the years leading up to the flood in particular. I suspect they wish to know more about the Warrior of Light, as well they should, but nearly everything uh, I've come across describes them as sin eaters or worse. Regardless of whether or not this Warrior of Light is who they claim to be, I worry that their sudden appearance in conjunction with this renewed interest in their predecessors may lead to growing unrest and fear. If the people of the Crystarium seek the truth, I say we give it to them. I too can attest to the falsehoods found within full many of the cabinet's tomes, with nary a mention of the noble deeds of Arbord and his comrades. To be fair, they bear some responsibility for the flood, but when the tale is told again and again over the course of the century, I am not surprised to see their roles distorted and them painted as villains. Were it not for the records stored within the Crystal Tower, I would have had no reason to question the narrative. Unfortunately, the knowledge was of no use, for when I arrived here in the first, their reputation had already been irreparable tarnished. That said, there still remained those who worked tirelessly to defend their good name in those early days following the flood. Considering all the good they have done, I find it wonder they needed defending at all. They brought to justice the man who misused my knowledge to bring about the fall of Foibert. That such heroes could be spoken of in the same breath as sin eaters is absurd. Under normal circumstances, I would agree, but as time passed, those who knew firsthand of their deeds dwindled. In the end, only one truth remained, that they were the cause of the flood. With the world on the brink of oblivion, it was all too easy for the warriors of light to become villains, deserving only of resentment and hate. At that point, the truth mattered little. It would not change their lot. Thanks to all of you, however, their lot has changed, and now they may heed the long forgotten truth. You claim it was Arbert who helped you overcome MX Sulk, correct? Such a revelation would do well to sway the hearts of those who know him only as a villain. I have shared this with a select few, but one and all must be told of his sacrifice. To that, and I say, we proceed with Alphanos' plan. We call together the people of the Crystarium and recount to them the true tale of the Warriors of Light and the flood that followed in their wake. Well, what say you, Akira? Spread the word, I say. I wish we had done this sooner. In hindsight, I agree, but better late than never, no? Exarch, might I ask you to continue working with Beck Lug on our means of returning home? The rest of us will see to gathering the people of the Crystarium in the Exidria. We have to reach out to anyone and everyone who might be willing to lend an ear. With any luck, word will spread and more will accompany them. There can be no darkness without light, and so it was that Arbert was there in your hour of need. The people must be told. I have seen many a great and terrible thing in my long life, as has the Exarch, no doubt. Of man, I can say this: his memory is short, his heart fickle. Let us pray that your words reach him. Do, 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 do. Let's start with the pendants. Pendants. Well, to what do I owe the pleasure? Whatever it is, I must ask you be brief. With the night of return, visitors have been flocking to the Crystarium, and I find myself too busy by half. I don't mind it, though, seeing the stairs so full of life and excitement, one can almost forget the flood ever happened. The Warriors of Light, yes, the Exarch has mentioned them before, but everyone knows them now as the Cardinal Virtues. Or are you suggesting there's more to it than that? Well, you've yet to steer us wrong, so I'm willing to hear what you have to say. My friend. Come to browse wares in the market, have you? Well, I can guarantee you'll have no trouble finding what you need. Whatever it may be, under Eleanor's new leadership, trade has never been more prosperous. Word is the fellow of the Dallas Stoneworks has taken over as mayor. Did he really? Little wonder business is blooming the way it is. I imagine it won't be long before all of Norvrance reaps the benefits, but you've not come to talk about the market. Something on your mind? I see the Exarch did mention they had something to do with your returning the night to Norvrant. I'll not right consider my interest piqued. Let me see. Ah, that's expensive. Santa, my friend. Oh god, I fucking love this music so much. Alright, let's see how much. And the last one, yeah, alright. Sweet. Akira, oh my, what a wonderful surprise, though. I hope your being here doesn't mean someone's been hurt. Thanks to you, I've had far fewer patients coming through my door of late. Which is a shame. Come to think of it, I've had fewer opportunities to test my new medicines. Hee hee, I jest. Of course, it's actually been quite pleasant to have a few moments to myself now and again. The truth about the Warriors of Light, but the Exarch has already spoken with me about them. Well, if there's more to the tale, I'd very much like to hear it. What the fuck? Let's see. Ba, ba. My friend. Well, well, what a coincidence. I was just reading over a letter I received from Grinault not long ago. He says a visitor from the Crusader found him at the bottom of the ocean and had that she inspired him to reach new new artistic heights. While I can only think of one person capable of both feats, though I'd say the latter is far more impressive. To think fate could bring the two of you together in such a place. I'm sorry, you mean the Exarch didn't tell us the whole story about of the Warriors of Light? Well, whatever he's left unsaid, I'm all ears. Oh, okay. So, okay, okay. Getting out of curiosity. Ba 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 bum 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 bum. No, this can't be. Surely there is at least one book here that does not cast the Warrior of Light and their deeds in such a negative light. Hey, what's up? Oh, Akira, forgive me. The Cabinet of Curiosity has been bustling with visitors of late, but I fear our repository lacks for the knowledge they seek. The people wish to know the truth of the flood, of the warriors of light. I have searched high and low, but alas, every account betrays them as no better than sin eaters, abominations, worthy only by of scorn and resentment. I know they were not always judged so harshly, yet I can find no proof, and I dare call myself a librarian. You would address the people and tell them the truth of the warriors of light of the flood? Oh boy, oh how wonderful. You have regaled me with the tale once before, but I should love to hear it again. Oh, and you may be assured I will not come alone. Wrong door. It is good to see the people of the Crucerium so eager to tell the truth. And with this newfound knowledge of the past, they will at last be able to look to the future with the eyes unclouded. To learn the truth. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Those I spoke with at the orchard and the rookery were quite keen to hear what we have to say. For as much hope as they have for the future, the scars of the past weigh heavily on them still. Wait one moment. Okay. There you are. Between the four of us, I dare say we've swept the Crucerium from top to bottom. Now we need but wait for the people to gather.
Yes, this looks to be nearly everyone. Let us begin, shall we? Though I am usually the first to hold forth at such events, I think on this occasion that honor should fall to you.
They would be more inclined to take the word of the Warrior of Darkness.
Indeed. In light of the subject matter, who better than thee to speak these truths?
Wicked White? The Warriors of Light did all that?
So they never... I mean, they only ever wanted to help. And when everything they'd done turned to ash, they still carried on.
They gave everything to stop the flood. First their lives, then their souls. And they managed it too, in the end. They saved us. And we cursed their names.
This should go a long way towards clearing the air. Impossible. I definitely see something. You don't think it's a ghost, do you?
Nay, yonder standeth no bloodless apparition, but a warrior of light and darkness both. Ardbert.
What in the world?
It's you! The one who slew the Eater!
That it should be the Warrior of Darkness who brought the truth to light. You've saved me a fair bit of time, though I have a few words of my own to say, if I may. People of the Crystarium, I am Ardbert, one of those you know as a warrior of light.
That's impossible. You should be dead.
Aye, that I should. But as the world has been given new life, so too have I. I know not why I, and I alone, have been gifted this chance. But I do know this. Only by the will of the star itself could such a miracle come to pass. The hero who stands before you now, the Warrior of Darkness, is not of this world. And the day will come when she must return to her home. But this land is our home. And if it is to remain so, now and forevermore, it is we who must protect it. The time to rely on saviors from afar has passed. It is you who must rise. You who must become the new Warriors of Light.
What? Us? Warriors of Light?
None of us were born heroes, my friend. I was only ever a man with a thirst for adventure. But wherever my journeys took me, I was invariably confronted with the same choice. To lend what aid I could to those in need, or not. And I always chose the former. Any one of you could do the same. All you need is the will to help your fellow man, and the resolve to see it through.
From thine own lips did we learn of Ardbert's fate, and by thy countenance I gather thou art not inclined to recant thy testimony. Yet whosoever this man may be, his words hold truth and resonate with the citizenry besides. For us to voice our doubts here and now would serve but to sow disquiet. 'Twere better we retired unto the ocular and there discuss this matter in private.
Go. I will stay here and watch.
So, that is a warrior of light of the first. I've not had the pleasure of making his acquaintance, but as you all seem to be in agreement, I gather this is no simple case of mistaken identity.
As far as I was able to discern, that was indeed Ardbert. It has been a long time, but not that long. Could he truly have been resurrected as he claims?
Ardbert did entrust his very soul unto thee. I see no reason to question thy judgment.
Nor I. To my eyes, your ether burns as brightly as the day you slew Emmett Selk. That is proof that he is with you still.
Yet that which standeth now before the people is far more than a passing imitation. I am reminded of the cardinal virtues, though a sin-eater he is not. Which leaveth but one plausible explanation.
That he is an Ascian.
Given their fondness for posthumous possession, I would have to agree. From what I understand, the Warriors of Light were laid to rest in Yulmore by those whom they had aided in life. At the time, some few still remembered them as heroes. Needless to say, 4 of them were subsequently exhumed to serve as the virtues. And if one knew where to look, Ardbert too would not have been difficult to find.
Assuming then that this is indeed the work of an Ascian, my mind inevitably turns to the last remaining paragon to survive the Sundering.
Elidibus. That Xenos hath reclaimed his own flesh is known. Thus evicted from his borrowed form, and cognizant no doubt of Emmett Selk's failure here in the first, 'tis quite possible the emissary chose Ardbert for his next vessel.
Inhabiting the flesh of the fallen. My, that is unsavory. And they do this often, you say?
Verily, for they possess no corporeal forms of their own. In what one may term their natural state, none save those gifted with the echo can perceive them. Indeed, when Elidibus intruded upon the waking sands, his presence did go unmarked by all save Minfilia and the Warrior of Light. On that occasion, I myself remained ignorant of his coming until after his departure. 'Twas only at a later juncture, when he deigned to appear before me in borrowed flesh, that I was finally able to take the measure of him. In such puppetry do the Ascians engage when they seek to influence the course of history.
And they have gained much by it. Emmett Selk single-handedly built the Garlean Empire in this manner, while the Hebrea came close to conquering Eorzea, having taken possession of Thancred's living body.
Yet it must needs be noted that the Ascians cannot avail themselves of all mortal vessels. For were they able to do so, none would serve as a better pawn than our own redoubtable champion. Mayhap the blessing of light shieldeth Hydaelyn's chosen from Ascian influence. Or mayhap other forces are at work. We cannot say for certain.
Whatever the reason, I hope it holds true. I dare not contemplate what might come to pass otherwise.
Is it not peculiar, then, that Ardbert's mortal remains should be susceptible, given that he was once a warrior of light? Or did the final departure of his soul make it possible, perhaps? Regardless, to hear an Ascian use him to call forth new warriors of light boggles the mind.
Elidibus hath ever been an enigma, his ostensible purpose being to preserve the balance between light and dark. When he made overtures towards me, however, I was afforded a glimpse behind the mask of the self-appointed emissary. I shall not defend mine actions, undertaken in pursuit of a better understanding of our foe as either wise or prudent. Nevertheless, what little I did glean may now prove useful. Elidibus possesseth a subtle mind, practiced in the art of manipulation. That he coaxed this star's most valiant heroes as far as the source with naught save half-truths is no trifling feat. And now I believe he doth employ his skills once more to some as yet unknown end. Though naught is certain, should my suspicions prove true, we shall have need of all our wits if we are to uncover and thereafter thwart his plot.
Agreed. 'Tis plain that simply speaking out against him will not avail us. At best, it would only serve to confuse the people. And I would hesitate to do anything which might tarnish Ardbert's reputation once more, nor yours by association. That being the case, it may be wise to keep a covert eye on this Ardbert's movements, as we attempt to discern his purpose and how best to mitigate his influence.
His performance appears to have concluded. What now? Go back out and follow him?
'Twould appear Master Alphino already hath pursuit in mind, and I suspect one pair of eyes shall better serve our cause than half a dozen. Let the rest of us maintain an inconspicuous distance, for the present at least.
We were a hair's breadth from defeat when we faced MXUK, and now we must contend with yet another Ascian. We must tread carefully. What a despicable practice, appropriating corpses, such depravity eclipses any horrors I witnessed in the age of Voibert. They must be stopped. We must now not act until Albert hath made plain his plan. 'Twould be folly to proclaim his false at this conjuncture. My brain. You did well to dispel the falsehoods surrounding the Warrior of Light and their actions prior to the flood. Though I must say, the reappearance of Ardbert, or rather the one who appropriated his identity, was a rather curious development. He is an imposter, of that there is no doubt. But to the masses he will appear as a hero returned from the grave. After the warrior light were laid to rest in Elmore, the people prayed fervently for the gods to deliver them to their plight. Prayed that these fallen heroes be born again for their sacrifices. What bitter irony. I, for one, would like to know why Ardbert urged the people to become warriors of light themselves. Ere we take action, we must needs ascertain his intent. Let us pray that Master Alphino returneth soon with the most essential knowledge. For now, I think it best to apprise Thancred and Rin of our efforts. When we do confront Ardbert, we shall no doubt have need of their strength. Agreed. I think it prudent we all take measures to prepare for what's to come. Beck, Lug, and I will continue our research into how we might improve the spirit vessel. What it might one day carry you home. One day carry you on. Yeah. Then I think it's time I return to the Great Wood. Until now, everything we have learned of the Asians has been handed to us at their leisure. But that was one of Emexel's unique failings. I hope no reason to think Elidibus will be as forthcoming. Fortunately, I recently received word from Funau that heretofore unexplored chambers have been discovered deep within the Quitania Revel. Almet believes the relics within tell of a great calamity that befell in ancient civilizations, that of the Asians. Perhaps they may lead us to the truth we seek. Would you care for company? Yes. I wouldn't dream of going without you. When you are ready, make for from now. Almet and her sisters will be expecting us. Then let us be about our task. Pray give my regards to the V's. Though I would like to join you to untangling the Asians' machinations, I think it best I stay here and devote my energies to finding a way to deliver the science back onto the source. I will help the Exarch in any way I can, but the key to solving our problem lies within him, the Elegant Eye. Alright, let's return to the best place. Let us pray these new ruins are not as unwelcoming as the last. You look as if you haven't seen us in an age. Is the passage of time really all that different from you dwarfs? The allies of the Ronka, my, it feels as if an age has passed since you last glanced us with your presence. Welcome, allies of the Ronka. We have accomplished much since last you came. With the Warden dead, and its minions dispersed, we have at last reclaimed our hunting grounds near Retica Falls. It was there that we discovered more ruins. Although we ran afoul of no traps while exploring its halls, we determined that the innermost chambers were warded by magic. We all were in agreement before the investigation could proceed. You should be summoned. We are grateful that you did. From what you have told me, I strongly suspect that the wisdom my comrades and I seek can be found within. This wisdom could prove invaluable, for we may soon face a foe whose greatest assets is our ignorance. I see. Then it is good that you have come. For Ronka was come home to the greatest of weapons, knowledge and understanding, and and it is our duty to ensure you and yours do not want for either. That said, we must proceed with caution to have reached the inner chambers all unmolested. I suggest a more formidable deterrent yet lies within. Come now, sure, any threats sleeping within the ruins pale in comparison to those who we have faced thus far. This is not a game, sister. You should not be eager to run headlong into danger. And you, who was it pinning for the return of our allies that we might venture into the ruins, clutching her staff at night, wishing it were... You promised not to tell. Then I suggest we be going. Get back here. Remind me exactly how old are you and your sisters? On second thought, perhaps it's better not. I do not know. Pray forgive their overzealous nature. None save we three have been privileged to escort you and yours into the ruins and bear witness to its secrets. Their hearts now burn with a curiosity that is not easily satiated. Please, you need apologize. As a seeker of knowledge myself, I understand full well their enthusiasm, and if not for your sedulous efforts to protect the ruins, we would not be afforded this opportunity. Speaking of which, I believe I have kept you away from the ruins long enough. Come, let us make for the Quitania Revel. Alright, so we are going to the Quitania Revel. Okay. Oh, I miss you so much, Lahi. Oh boy, an instance. Ayo, let's go. Even MXL has taken a back to find a mural illustrating the final days in these ruins. What other surprises do you suppose yet lie within? I feel oddly ill-equipped to venture inside, but with you here, I'm sure things will work out. Ready when you are. It is most strange for these halls to be left unguarded. Have care when breaking the seal on the chamber door. Danger surely awaits us on the other side. It is recommended that, okay, alright, yes.
Come. Our new discoveries are to be found this way.
The people of Ronka are known to have venerated animals, but these features do not match those of any indigenous species. This is no common beast. Though that much is plain from its proportions.
Lifelike, is it not? One could almost imagine it breathed. Why you... Ugh.
This owl, by contrast, seems no different from the others we've seen.
The sealed door lies ahead. As you see, one statue is missing. I expect we are meant to replace it as before.
Too simple. There will be some additional defense mechanism. Just a moment. There are words carved into the stone. He who would disturb a hero's deserved slumber shall instead waken the beast and know his folly. Wait! Don't!
What? But I only... What is happening? Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, it lives!
Why am I not surprised? Prepare yourselves.
play cards, shall we? I think I have no idea. I don't remember this at all. You trespass mortal upon sacred ground in retribution. 4 souls. Have I bond? Okay, I can. It's 3. All right. Fuck. That's the sought apart bailment of whole do I. Okay. Death of paw with keen do I vie through sought apart betterment of the whole do our efforts descry. What am I? A paw through sought apart betterment of the whole do our efforts descry. What am I? Fuck. Deft of paw with keen do I vie. A coral? Fuck! That's my second guess. Alright. So it's a fucking riddles. Fuck me. With fearsome fang, I travel with a pack. Together we find harmony, and thus for peace, our land does not lack. What am I? A wolf. The our belly do I crawl, by my strength does prosperity reign within our hall. What am I? Oh, serpent, Yeah, let's go. Desire you that I claim, then we shall play another game. A test of mind, of memory. Choose wisely, and you all may yet go free. Twist these talismans, hide friend and foe. Choose your companions, well or sorrow, no. Alright, shit. Talisman. Okay, this is... okay. Select this talisman? Okay. Let's see. There we go. First measure your worth. unworthy of she who the Ronkas told must be strength in mind and strong in mind, body, and soul.
No mercy!
Here I come!
Ba 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 ba
This is going to leave a mark! I will not hold back!
You go, girl.
Away with you!
Oh, hello.
'Twould seem the magics have returned us. How polite. Now, what have we learned?
Ah, we were bound to run into a living statue eventually. And now we can open the door.
He who would disturb a hero's deserved slumber. A tomb, just as I thought. Befitting a hero.
She is Vis. Could it be the Archmage Tiuna? A legendary hero of Ronka, as you surmised. The tales tell of how she smote entire armies with a single incantation, so potent was her spellcraft. Though she ever fought in the name of peace.
I thought them no more than tales. To think she really existed.
Well, I for one always believed.
I wonder. By the light of fallen stars, great power awakens.
Tiuna was not only a master of spellcraft. It is said she could see truths long lost and hear the voices of men's hearts.
Naught less than the echo. In which case, none of this is mere coincidence. A shower of stars setting the sky aflame. And in both this world and the Source, we find individuals within whom a mysterious power awakened at the sight. We can never unpick the why of it. Now, however, I believe we might. Does the scene depicted here not resemble the one we saw when we first ventured into the Katana Ravel? Moreover, does it not recall that which Emmett Selk invited us to witness in Amarot? The final days. If, as the Exarch's research suggests, soul and mind share a fragile yet profound bond, might it not be possible for an event to leave such a deep imprint upon the soul that it could be perceived eons later, given a suitable trigger? The echo defies explanation by conventional etherological theory, or shall we say modern etherological theory. But if it is a power that once belonged to the ancients, to souls yet undivided, it would seem I have entered the realm of pure speculation, and I call myself a scholar. I shall refrain from making any further wild claims until such time as I have evidence. Still, I cannot choose but be reminded of our experience in Amarot. Remember us,
History is learned, not lived. We have always protected the tales of Ronka, just as we have protected this place. But we are mindful of what our mothers taught us. We see the past through our own eyes, and speak of it with our own words. Thus do we come to understand it in our own way. But this is not the same as remembering.
Your mothers were wise. Though we witnessed the final days, our impressions cannot fail to be colored by our own experiences and expectations. Those who lived through it would have perceived the event quite differently. We must bear in mind that it is no simple matter to keep the truth alive, or it will die with Emet-Selch and his kin. But we have disturbed Tuna long enough. Fanau will serve similarly well as a venue for our contemplations.
Alright. Tuna is the reason I took up spellcraft. You know, never in my wildest dreams did I imagine her tomb would be found, let alone that we would be the ones to have the honor to do so. I sorely underestimated the defenses of these ruins. Perhaps Summit was right to urge caution. We learned nothing of the Asians, but the potential link between the echo and the premature natural star showers is intriguing. By your pensive expression, I take it the tomb has given you much to think about. That is well. In time, the knowledge you have gleaned will lead to understanding and thus arm you for what is to come. Before you leave, however, I would speak again of the teachings of our forebears, our histories learned, not lived. The legend of Tuna and her exploits has been told countless times over the centuries, yet as it is handed from one generation to another, the story changes. With each telling this tale, there are new flourishes. Details changed or lost, we can never truly know how she lived, for we were not there to see it. But we are here now to bear witness to your life. We have seen the change you have wrought, the echoes that will endure long after you are gone. And though it too will change in time, I swear to you, we shall do our best to preserve your history, your story. I hope you'll forgive me if I don't make a oath of my own, but I think it goes without saying we could never misspeak of your heroism. Perish the thought, so long as we are here, there are none among the V's who will not know of all you have done for Norvrent. We are not deserving of your such reverence, but we are grateful all the same. You can be certain we will have our own tales to tell of our great guardians of Raktika and the ruins of Ronka. I pray you safe travel then. As ever, we shall await your return with open arms. Alright. I would say this concludes this episode. Oh, but, yeah, I'll say, so long as the V's live, we shall preserve the truth of your deeds. In the short time we've known you, it feels as though we've experienced a lifetime of adventures we are not like to forget. Perhaps we should create a new moral in your honor and as a record for future generations. What do you think? Yes. Alright. Till the next episode. Very well. Bye.